and welcome back to Kids Eat Toast Sometimes. So you got a song for us? Usually you sing.
No, that's, again, I steal jingles. Bojanglesy. Who was Bojangles?
Why do I think he's a cat?
No, I think it's got something
Bojangles
to
the
do
bear.
with slavery. Who is Bojangles? Let me actually Google this. How are you, Chloe? How are you
Bojangles.
doing today?
Well, now I'm wondering about Bojangles and that I call them a cat. I'm good. I'm very good. It's been quite a lovely weekend. We've gotten some very nice weather. Who is Bojangles?
Bill Robinson, by name Bojangles, original name Luther Robinson, born in Richmond, Virginia, died in 1949. American dancer.
Maybe that's why I thought he was a cat.
Hollywood. I don't know why. Why did I think Jangles? Chain?
Jingle.
Django.
You said we steal the jingles.
I don't know how I got into slavery. You never know, but you got to keep you on your toes with KETS.
True.
And if you're listening, there was a lot of crazy pointing and eye contact made.
Finger gunning,
and just a general good time. It's lovely to be back and recording. It's a nice part of the week. It's always you've just had the weekend. You're coming off that Monday sort of depression, and now you're getting into it on Tuesday.
Get into a yo.
Yeah. But speaking of the weekend, what did you get up to on your weekend?
I went to my first boot camp ever, and it was incredible.
Oh, yeah.
And
explain a boot camp, because I hear boot camp, it sounds military-y.
Kind of, no, I'm joking. It was an all-ladies boot camp. It was incredible. We basically had 4 different people leading a workout. But, it's crazy. Like
Were all of them women?
No.
But I thought it was an all-lady boot camp.
Yeah.
Led by men.
Yeah.
You couldn't make it up. Who keeps the patriarchy intact? Woman.
So how did you even twist this?
I don't know where this came from. No, so yes, you had your boot camp.
Yes, that was lovely. But I was explaining to Sam, so we first did a warm up, then we did a traditional HIIT workout. I was killing those burpees. I'll tell you that much, killing them.
A HIIT workout is terrible. Not for the faint-hearted.
Yeah. Kind of want to throw up, but you keep going. And then we went on to doing, and I've never done this before, shadow boxing sort of workout. Sam said if he was there, he would have just walked away. And honestly, I can't blame him because I probably looked really bad. But it was a sort of you do one uppercut, another uppercut, and then you do side punch, and you have to shuffle, and then you have to knees to chest. I don't know.
But are they saying that this is just for a workout? They're not selling it as self-defense?
No, he did do that.
No, when they come up to you, uppercut.
Yeah, he was okay, ladies, you gotta have your hands in front of your face like this, and I was yeah, but I was just I am never gonna fight someone off.
No.
They can take everything. I'm absolutely not gonna try and fight. But yeah, it was quite funny because I was okay, cool, a nice cardio workout, and then I realized he's it's a self-defense. Everyone was yes, and I was guys, let's not kid ourselves. I've seen everyone doing push-ups.
Yeah.
Okay, you're not that strong. Okay.
I've seen your push-ups form. You're not defending yourself from
You're on your knees. doing push-ups on your knees, not if you get robbed.
Chloe.
Speaking of that, Sam and I think we tell everyone that we almost got robbed.
Well, let me set the scene, Chloe,
Okay.
because you were the one I thought who was trying to get us robbed as well. It was an interesting time. We're in Cape Town, and we arrive just above Buitengracht, and the area we're going to, we've missed by about 300 meters. We've gone right to the top of the road. There's an old military base and a squatter camp. And it was something out of a movie because all we heard was voices in the dark. And then this toothless wanderer came up, came up to us and was you guys are about to get robbed. And at that point, Chloe and I are looking at you, and I just start losing it because I'm why are we here? What are we doing here, Chloe? Why have you taken us to the top of this road? We're just walking around.
I didn't. The Uber did, to be fair. I put in the instructions, the address.
But so now we're here. So then Chloe's now trying to talk to this person for some reason. What are you doing? This person is going to rob us. I just start marching off in a different direction.
Sam says you got to look confident. Otherwise people are going to rob you.
Otherwise, Whitey on the street's going to... Chloe's there with her iPhone out. She's showing it to everyone. And she's where are we? She's we are lost. could you help us? And me, I'm just walking. I'm like, and then like, it's terrible. Then this other person comes up to us and says, stay vigilant or you'll get robbed. Then this third group of us tells us to stay in the spot because otherwise we'll get robbed. And I was like, this is definitely the robbers. Stay in the spot while we wait to get other people to rob you. So after being told 3 times we were getting robbed, it was actually a miracle that we weren't. And we scurried in for a very nice evening at our friend's house.
Oh yeah, it was lovely. We actually,
miles away from the location we were dropped in.
Like a couple 100 meters.
A couple 100 meters makes a massive difference in South Africa. It's the difference between living and dying.
Fair. But it all ended up actually going all right. We had the most delicious pizzas from The Shed. If you guys haven't tried them, they're a local pizzeria. Is that what you say?
I suppose all the pizzerias are local. We don't go for any international orders.
No, we've got, what's that American one called?
Made locally, though.
Well, it's like an international chain. What
Made locally, though.
Yeah, okay, sure.
The ham is from Italy.
But what's it called?
Domino's?
So I'm not thinking of Domino's, but anyways, this is like a started locally. I don't know why we're talking about this, but anyways.
We love that pizza. It was a good pizza.
It was such a good pizza. And our friend Brian, shout out Brian, showed us how to... You do a pizza braai. Have you ever heard of that? A pizza braai. You put the pizza on a pan on the braai with some oil.
Delicious.
Over the coals. Guys, try it out.
Not over the coals. There's a pan. And then you don't just... It's not just straight onto the coals.
I'm just getting carried away.
Yeah, I know. But it is delicious. But...
And how are you?
Well, always well. Sam, you well. It's in the name. It's in the game. Chasing women is the fastest way to fame. Probably not. No.
Yeah. Maybe fame for the wrong reasons.
No, not fame at all. I was just trying to do WWE rhymes. I have become obsessed with WWE. I honestly think it is the most intelligent form of entertainment ever, and I don't say that sarcastically. I don't think maybe everyone who watches it is a genius, but what they actually do is brilliant.
Oh, they know their audience, yeah.
Well,
is that what you're saying?
No, just from start to finish, what they do is really intelligent. Like for the entertainment industry, and that's why it's one of the biggest, most popular sports in the world. Should it be a sport? Is chess a sport? Chess is definitely not a sport. But
what is the definition of a sport? I've always wondered, like, is table tennis a sport?
Yes.
Actually, no, that was a bad question. Of course it's a sport.
Chess, how can chess be a sport? It's an intellectual battle between virgins. No, I'm sure. You get chess bad boys. I was watching a chess documentary. You also get the Queen's Gambit. That chick was hot.
She's hot.
So there's lots of stuff going on in the chess world.
Chess baddies.
There are a lot of chess conspiracies going on. That's the one thing I hate about the internet. I've been watching all these chess conspiracies about, because this whiz kid got beaten and he's like, everyone was supporting, like, the only way this guy could have been beaten by the guy who beat him was through cheating. But because it's a chess community, they haven't come out and said that. They've just made sly digs.
Oh, is this the guy
Sly virgin digs.
Is this the guy who's like a world leader and then he was like beat by a kid?
Yeah. No, he wasn't beat by a kid, but he was beat by someone.
Another virgin.
Chloë, they're all virgins. Richard Branson.
Probably not.
Virgin Active. Virgin Active's been dragged through the mud. Our place of solace, our place of rest, our place of joy. The silo. Not specifically the silo. You could never drag that place because it's better than you. But because of load shedding. So they've now made it for a couple of weeks that you can go to any Virgin Active, bar the collection ones, which is the silo. So you can get close, but not that close. But everyone's complaining about, like, how don't you have generators? What's going on? Which is also true, but also I feel a bit unfair because, I don't know, it feels like almost, I don't know, like, shouldn't we have electricity? It's like a massive burden on businesses.
Yeah. Shouldn't we have electricity?
Shouldn't we have? Where is it? We say with the lights. Turn the lights on.
Boom, 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 boom.
I think your beatboxing is as good as my dancing.
No, that actually wasn't my best beatboxing. I definitely could do.
Has anyone ever in the history of the world told you you're a good beatboxer?
I've never beatboxed for anyone.
You never.
Can't do it properly now.
Just for the KETS loyalists, but we got to. Sounds like the Black Eyed Peas from Wish. No, we got to get into the news, Chloe. We got to have that. We owe it to the people of South Africa. I read the newspaper this weekend, the Sunday Times.
Did.
And I was honestly like, I got to kill myself. It's the only way.
My dad, he used to read the newspaper as well. And he'd be like, yo, no, Chloe, I can't. You should read the newspaper though, but I can't.
No, it is terrible. Gang violence, xenophobia, load shedding, political unrest, a terrifying economy, unemployment.
Rise in crime and kidnappings.
Like violent murders. That's a Sunday Times summed up for you. It's Springboks on cocaine. Yeah, no, I read it and I was like, oh my word. But one of the main things we're going to talk about, and one thing I really did want to talk about today, came out of the Sunday Times and other established newspapers like the Daily Sun. But Dr. Zweli Mkhize, the disgraced former Minister of Health.
What has he done now?
What has he done now? Bar being a corrupt piece of shit.
I thought he's going to jail.
No, that doesn't happen in South Africa, Chloe. He does what any disgraced politician does in the ANC.
Okay.
They take a paid break and then they run for president. That is literally what Zweli Mkhize is doing. He's said to the courts, prove it. Prove my corruption. Which, will be funny if they do. But Zuma, a couple of other cronies, Shabir Sheikh, the Stellenbosch Mafia, they've all proved that it is actually very hard to arrest people in South Africa for stealing millions from taxpayers and the like. So
digital vibes, bro.
Yeah. Mkhize and digital vibes, millions of rand.
But there was another thing as well.
The unemployment fund. And they had their hands in the kitty there. There's tons of corruption. So
yeah. Well, I think the reason why he's trying to probably speed up his trial, because if he is found guilty, he can't run.
Well,
but
yes, no, that is the very reason.
Then he can run.
No, you're spot on.
Not run away, run for president.
Yes.
Although I'd probably just, I'd just say, run away, start over.
Why? This is the best place in the world to be a corrupt politician. People love Zuma. I still cannot believe how much people love Jacob Zuma. I was really blown away by that.
I think it's just what he stands for.
Who, Zuma?
Yeah.
Multiple women, big estates, rolling lawns, fire pools.
No, I think...
ability just to do whatever you want. Yeah, I mean, that's a lifestyle many get behind. The Mormon community, funnily enough, anti-Zuma. You think they'd have more in common than they...
You would. Sister Wives, great show.
Sister Bettina, Hibaru. Have you seen those ads for halls?
No.
And it's like how a hall will change your day. The only thing a hall will do will make the water you're drinking taste real cool. Try it.
I love
this
it.
This podcast was paid for by halls. Not balls. Halls. That was Manscaped years ago. Remember that? We did a Manscaped promotion. My word. That is, but back to Zweli, because there's some stuff I want to chat about, because I really just don't get it. And when we ask the question, who is Zweli Mkhize, it's quite interesting because he's a doctor, legislator, he's a politician, and he's a piece of shit. Okay, I believed in him more than Cyril, because Cyril was the president, but Zweli was the minister of health.
You really went through a phase where you loved him.
And he came out, I was like, yeah, he sounds so competent, and he's doing all these things, and we're doing this, and Fauci would say something, and he'd maybe disagree with Fauci. I was like, woo-hoo-hoo, Zweli.
Well, it was during COVID, like he was like leading the charge.
Yeah, it was someone to hold on to, and then my dad was like, yeah, he's got a couple of corruption charges. I was like, oh, stop it.
Everyone does, hey?
Yeah, and then I read them. It's like, Zweli, you piece of crap. You're part of it all. But he is currently fighting Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma for KZN. And whoever emerges as the representative from KZN will then probably go head-to-head with big Zare Ramaphosa to see who will become the president of the country. So it's not a question of whether Cyril, Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma, Mkhize, whoever, Malema, Steenhuisen, Zille. It's not a question of whether they're corrupt or not. It's how corrupt are they, and will they be able to keep the fucking lights on and create a couple of jobs. Across the world, we know people are corrupt. We know businesses are corrupt.
Yeah.
We know international governments are corrupt. But some stuff must still work.
Yeah.
Like just a bit of corruption but more delivery.
I mean...
Still be corrupt.
No. I mean, if we could just get rid of corruption, that would probably be great.
I'm saying that's overly ambitious. You don't just get a six-pack from being an obese person. You got to slim down a bit first. So let's slim down.
I think that as John Steenhuisen had any like massive scandals that have come out against him.
I think the only thing that came up with Steenhuisen, the leader of the DA, was that he only had a matric.
Oh, but that's so boring. You know,
it's kind of funny because he was like, this guy's stupid. This guy is like, hey, John. Your life orientation mark bumped up the maths lit mark and now you're here.
You're running alongside a guy who's a doctor, politician and legislator. All in one. That's crazy.
Yeah, maybe John's just not intelligent enough to steal money.
Do you know, if I think of John...
That's not fair. He seems like a fine guy.
When I think of him, I think of a penguin for some reason.
Because we did a whole video about how he looks like a penguin from Pep. That's when I was still doing those satire videos. I was
like ages ago.
He looks like someone from Club Penguin because he's always in that white shirt, black suit.
Yeah. Like a tuxedo.
Yeah.
Or like the penguins from Mary Poppins.
Yeah, but we got to do it.
I don't want to.
Eskom. It is a miracle that we are broadcasting, bringing you this podcast today.
I know. We had to cancel a guest last week.
I know, and that's because he called someone the N-word. Because of loadshedding, and he called someone the N-word. No, it was Jim Carrey. Would have loved to have him on. But no, it's just the stage 6. Stage 6 is a joke. Stage 6 is like, wake up, check the load shedding schedule and get back to bed because you got to close those eyes of yours because there's just no point. It's the hope that kills you when you're moving between stages. It's like, are we getting into the new relationship? Does she like me? No. Alone, in the dark. No.
I actually haven't seen the stage 6 emoji before.
What is it?
It's just shit.
No, there's no more jokes.
I had someone on one of my university group chats and they sent their load shedding schedule. And like some of those areas, they just get hit with the switching back and forth.
Yes.
So they literally like this poor person has got load shedding from like, let's say it's like 8 to 10, break, 12 to 2, like 2 to they like don't get a break because they're switching between 4 and 6. And
apparently, also, no, I said that laughing because of what Chloe was saying. But apparently, there I go again. Apparently, in some rural areas, they just switch the electricity off the whole day. It's not funny, but it's like just because they know it's not going to be like documented, or so they'll be
that's terrible.
You guys get 5 hours of load shedding. The lights come on. You guys have electricity, so no,
that's really terrible.
It is terrible.
But it's also happening in Zimbabwe at the moment.
That's never a country we want to compare ourselves to. I've never gone like, what's Zimbabwe up to? That's the golden standard. Unless you're talking about them when they were the bread baskets of Africa many years ago. I think it was called Rhodesia then.
Many years ago.
Oh no, I think it was Great Zimbabwe and the Mapungubwe ruins. Or was that somewhere else? I don't know.
I literally read something about Mapungubwe today.
I think it's grade 6 history. It's in the syllabus.
But it's so weird. I saw it today. Anyways. But they currently are having 15 hours without power a day.
So you sleep, if you're a healthy human, you sleep between 8 and 10. So you basically just live in darkness.
Yeah, literally. But there's also murmuring, sorry to break it to you guys, that we might be going into stage 8.
No. Stop it. Stage 6 is wild enough. 4.5 hours of load shedding between 6 o'clock and 10:30. Please, guys. Eskom, we get it. We get it. You don't like us, but we can't continue. It's what is it? Something like we're losing 10 billion rand a day or something? Is it million or billion?
Billion, yeah.
Billion with a B, you bitch. Fuck, that's a lot of money.
I know. And I completely forgot to mention this. We've now been declared as code red, which I mean, that's kind of like from movies. They're like code red, but no one really knows what it means.
What does it mean?
I mean,
You don't know?
no, I'm joking. Apparently it's bad, and it's going to be for the next 6 weeks. But it could be for longer. It probably will be for longer. But
What do you mean?
yeah, that's what they say.
Oh, we're on code red for the next.
Code red, yeah. But apparently it's because there was something to do with like a nuclear mishap at Coburg. It's always at Coburg. And someone dropped a 5 billion rand generator. Get this. You literally can't make this shit up. On the floor. They dropped the generator on the floor.
How small is this generator? How many people are carrying it? And if so,
Listen,
who dropped
okay,
it?
I don't-
Do you even
listen.
lift, bro? You fucking weakling, setting us back.
Listen, I don't know how big this generator is. It's probably like like maybe like a crane, couple of people. I don't know. It got dropped, which I don't understand how that happens.
The blue crane, our national bird, letting us down once more.
Sam says that he likes the neighbor's generator.
I love
It
the
makes it-
neighbor's generator.
because when it comes on at night, it's kind of like it's like free white noise.
And I go, literally, I'll be doing anything. I fall asleep. Someone said it's because they release toxic gases, and I was like, I gotta pay the price, baby. But no, if it comes to stage 8, it's over. I've said a lot of positive things, but I'm moving to the countryside. I'm taking up, not even farming, because I imagine at some stage you need electricity there. I'm just going to become a recluse, a hermit.
I'm going off the grid.
A strandloper. I'm just going to walk up and down the Pringle Bay beach and at people, and I won't swim though because that's dangerous.
The rips.
But I'll just get angry and grumpy, and I'll fish. I feel that's grow a big beard, write a novel, drink heavily, become Ernest Hemingway without electricity.
This sounds like a Tom Hanks movie.
Yeah.
What was it? What was the movie that he was in?
Castaways.
Jinx.
But no, Code Red. You know what the thing is also about, and I hate this about being South African, is it's like we're so resilient. We get through things. And yes, that's true. But it also means we've got like such low standards of expectation. Yeah. So we all complain about stage 6. We're going to get out. We're going to work the schedule out. We'll be like, oh, it's so lovely actually to read more, and I spend a lot of downtime, and we'll have all our sort of social events planned, and we'll cook at different times, and we'll just come to accept it. And then they'll hit us with this Code Red and stage 8, and we'll complain a bit, and then we'll just adapt to it. So please join me in, I don't know, I'm not just motivated enough for a revolution.
Okay.
It would be impossible to organize it because of data and like no electricity, no Wi-Fi. Everyone's like, just buy an inverter. Oh, how about you just give me 10,000 rand? That's a great idea.
How much an inverter is?
Well, it depends which one you're getting. Like our one over there, that powers up the Wi-Fi for 30 minutes. Useless. And that wasn't cheap either.
How much are we talking?
It's like 2 for 30 minutes. Oh, yeah. Might as well go to Bangkok.
I was looking up, I thought there might be some funny articles on like things to do during load shedding. And they are all so lame. It's like, take time to reconnect yourself with nature. It's like, actually, Susan, I have work to do.
Yeah.
Like
I want to know what load shedding does for the mental health of men, because I know when load shedding goes up, electricity goes down, the number of wanks skyrockets. I can say that with certainty. I can say, and there's a high correlation between masturbation, depression. It's true. So I'm concerned if you're a man out there and you need a chat, don't WhatsApp us. Don't Instagram us.
No.
Speak to your friends. I love all celebrities. I am here for you. No, you're not.
No, I'm not. Yeah.
You don't reply to any of your messages. 3 people killed themselves because you didn't reply to their message. Here for you, bestie. Hey, besties. And you try to take photos in real life and they like push you off.
I saw this video of
a journey into my mind.
Yeah, it was chaotic. I saw this video of Dua Lipa and someone's trying to like take a photo with her and she goes, sorry, I'm just with my family. Hope you don't mind. I'm not taking any photos today. And she just walks off and you're like, honestly, respect.
I don't respect that. If you're going to be the sex symbol for our generation, you got to take photos.
No.
Masturbation, depression. No. It's literally erect. I couldn't get the opposite of what erect is.
Okay.
What is it?
Flaccid.
Yeah. Doesn't
Nothing.
roll off the tongue.
Someone was saying to me the other day.
It's got a flaccid cock. Oh, I'm Dua Lipa.
Someone was saying to me the other day, they were like, I can't tell if Sam is just completely being himself on the podcast or if he's holding back more intrusive thoughts.
Little column A, little column B. There's a lot that...
Like, I wonder what's going on up there.
We really don't edit anything out.
No.
We have to do the one edit when the cameras time out, but we just keep the conversation going. But otherwise, we never edit anything out.
No.
So this is raw, unfiltered. I always think we should get a live-ish audience. I think like 10 people.
10 people's a lot. I don't think this apartment can fit 10 people.
No, it can. You make it you sell it as intimate.
Yeah. Okay, 1, 2.
No.
Be like those Jeremy Loop's concerts that were happening when he invited
no
people
one comes to that.
No, when he invited them to his studio, like while he's he's busy like doing pieces from his new album. You come and you sit in his house and
too intimate. Oh, I suppose that's what we say. Yeah, no, too intimate. Too intimate. It's out. But quickly pull up the photo, or we'll put it in the photo of Jan Oberholzer. And this is the COO. Him and Darita are charged with leading Eskom and saving us. He looks like your grandpa who you've just told him your pronouns and he doesn't know what's happening. It's a bit like the...
Huh?
Yeah, it's just like, what?
They?
How many they? 1. But them. It's just them. How many? 1. Neerfok. It's just, it's too much. So I don't know how old the grandpa's going to save it, between him and St. Nicholas. I don't know what's going on. But you know what? We remain positive because you know what? Who needs electricity when you've got South Africa's summer coming up? I know. Guys, brace yourselves. There's going to be no electricity. It's just going to be vibes. Digital vibes.
Digital vibes.
What a mess. What a mess. We must move on though, Chloe.
Yes, because we want to talk about big dog Cyril.
Daddy
Big Zaddy Cyril.
Daddy.
Squirrel. People say it's offensive when I say that, but people...
Squirrel was fun. No,
it's cute.
There was a person when he was in the States recently because of Biden, then he was with the Queen, which we'll touch on now, and then he was going to go back to the States, but that's been cancelled because he's like, oh my word,
Loadshedding.
I'm the president. I've got to be accountable for the nation. That's crazy.
Man.
But remember when we killed all those miners, nothing happened. So I really have to go back and govern? Okay. Man, I've never turned so horribly on a person. I used to love him. Him and Zweli. Take that, yeah, bastards.
I think we were all gaslighted during the beginning of lockdown.
Well, we just wanted someone to believe in because we needed a hero. I need a hero.
That was a point where South Africans really couldn't take load shedding.
No. Because we were at home.
But do you remember it started? It started in, I think it was like May or June. It must have been June when they were like, okay, we're going to introduce load shedding. Everyone was like, no, you cannot do this.
I quite frankly can't remember a time when we weren't in load shedding. That's just, I know that obviously that's been very dramatic, but...
Almost half of this year has been days we've been load shedding. It's crazy. Like over 100 days out of 200 and something. Crazy. But anyways, big Zaddy Cyril. He's
been on a world tour meeting Biden, but when he was in the States, all these people are coming up to him and addressing him. I lived in South Africa between 2009 and 2012, Your Excellency. And I was like, it's so funny because they're like, Your Excellency. And we're like, Cyril Ramaphosa, Zaddy Cyril, like, Squirrel. And so it's so funny. Your Excellency. It was, I watched it like 12, Your Excellency. I couldn't stop watching it. And he's like so confused.
No, Americans are something else. I saw a video of this girl who was like on her way to school and she bumped into Cyril. This is a South African girl. She's like, hey, I'm here with Uncle Cyril. And he's like, hey. It's just so South African.
We don't care. We don't. Podcaster / comedian Simi RF, he's got a great sort of bit about how like no no one in South Africa is famous because like we both have my school cards or we all have smart shoppers.
That's
like
really
yeah,
good.
there's no such thing. I think that's half the joke, and then I ruined or I used the wrong reference. But anyway,
have you ever actually been roasted for that? Like I have once.
For what?
Like we were all talking about like who has my school, like a my school card. No,
my school.
not a my sorry.
Who's got a my school card?
That's the Woolies one. Who's got like a
smart shopper
card? I was like, I do. And then my friend's boyfriend at the time goes, I've never had one of those.
Yo, that's racism. But anyway.
That's racism.
No, I don't know. That's always fun too.
I'm as white as they come.
I love just throwing that in just to make people feel awkward, especially at a new braai. Someone says something like completely fine. Like, I didn't really understand Inception. You're like, that was racist. And everyone's like, and then they start scrambling. They start thinking that I said the N-word out loud.
You are insane.
How did they know? How did they know? This is what happens when you give me some jelly babies before the show.
Meow. Jelly baby.
I love a jelly. Love a gelatin. But so Cyril's been dominating headlines. He's been everywhere. And one of my favorite one was Ramaphosa signs Book of Condolence. Will return to South Africa after Queen's funeral amidst Eskom crisis. The Book of Condolence. That just sounds like the most made up shit. Like, who's going to go through and read that? He's like, Cyril's like, hey, Queenie, Liz, remember that one time in Rome? Ha, ha, ha. Love you lots, R.I.P. Who's writing? Or they're just going to say, rest in peace. What would you write in the Queen's book? Condolence book.
Condolence book. I don't know. Rest in peace, Lizzie.
I would write first things first, rest in peace, Uncle Phil. No, I wouldn't. I would say, when you see Diane, send regards, JK, you're going to hell. No, I wouldn't. The EFF released a statement like, burn in hell with your ancestors. And what the fuck?
I mean, she
Come on, people.
Oh, I mean, but
she had a complicated legacy. We get that.
Yeah.
But it's also, I'm not throwing that away either, but I'm saying, all these people who are like, getting into it's like, yeah, I think if you picked apart anything, I know the specifically the royal family, I'm not a fan of the royals either. I think it's absolutely bizarre. But, in terrible taste, especially to mock the dead or hope. Yeah. Or wish pain on people.
Like,
I think there's enough.
Like happy when you hear someone's going to die.
Enough suffering in the world and that sort of stuff. And of course, I think just by extension, it's also just very disrespectful to people who, for whatever reason, loved the Queen. It doesn't mean they were raping, pillaging colonists. The Queen, like I think we said last week, for a lot of people was like a symbol of Nan, grandma.
Yeah.
Or, whatever. And for a lot of women, speaking to my gran, because it's also a generational thing.
Yes, yeah. I think it's more
how people view the Queen. Like my gran was like, it was amazing to see a woman take up that sort of station of power. So no one is ever one thing, and we got to get out of that. You can be lots of things, and you can be good at some things and bad at others. Yeah. Yo, I'm on it, eh?
I know.
A couple of lines of Ritalin and I can make sense. But it was a good time. But some South Africans have pleaded with Ramaphosa to make Monday, yesterday, a public holiday for the Queen's funeral. And these are the same South Africans that were like, rotten hell, Queen. We just love a public holiday so much. They're like, we'll do anything.
Heritage Day is on a Saturday, right? Heritage Day is on this coming Saturday, I think.
That's bullshit. It's not allowed. It has to be in the week.
I know.
And then you link it up, you use leave, and then you go on holiday for 2 months.
So someone's like, so do we still have a tutorial on Friday? They're like, yes, babe. The public holiday is on a weekend.
But I'm mentally preparing for Heritage Day. So how does that work?
I said, because I was like, no, it's Friday. And everyone, especially it's like a sociology tutorial, everyone's like, hey. Hey,
Whitey, shut the fuck up.
Heritage Day, babe.
I love a braai. It's people, the braai is also, it's a symbol of freedom. It's a symbol of, just being at one with oneself, but it's also a lie. I don't know how many times people are like, yeah, let's have a braai. And they're like, okay, we'll do it at your house, Sam. And then we do it. And then because it's your house, you have to braai. And all these people who were so keen on the braai sit inside while you are in the wind,
Battling
smoke
the
billowing,
wind.
your hair's caught on fire, and then they come out every like sort of 20 minutes and
Has
say,
it done
"Oh,
yet?"
you need to turn that one. I'm gonna fucking kill you, mate. I'll literally kill you." No, I've become super aggressive at the braai. It's raining. It's lovely.
Yeah. The Wunchies.
Love the sound of rain.
I love it. Love the smell of rain as well. On like freshly warm ground, freshly cut grass and rain.
What is that tree that literally smells like cum? That always, you know the one. I literally asked my dad the one day. He was like, "Yeah, I also was smelling that." We both thought like we had taken a wank before we had gone on a run. It turns out it was just these trees.
No, I don't know what tree you're talking about.
Have you never smelt it? People, let me know. I know you know what tree. It come on. Chloe, don't give up on this podcast. We're going to the moon. There's no need to cry. Don't worry. Have you never...
What is that?
Okay, this is my second... We should have a thing where we allowed 3 Googles an episode. I'm on number 2. What is the tree that smells like cum? I suppose semen's the calorie pear. This is literally, that cummy smell comes from a flowering deciduous tree called Pyrus calorina, better known in Australia as the ornamental pear, or the calorie pear in the US, originating from China, like fucking COVID. They became the urban designer's trio choice because they're small, neat, and smell like cum. Doesn't say that at the end, but...
Why you say cummy smell?
That was true. Bradford pear tree, semen, sex smell. It's all over the internet. So if you don't believe me...
No, I ruined my makeup because I'm crying.
Oh, yeah, you had a little sob. No, it doesn't look bad.
So sometimes when I start crying, because I'm laughing, then I actually just start crying.
Yeah, your body's like, this is our time.
Let's get all of those emotions
I haven't had a
out.
cry this week. Let's get it. But getting back, speaking of trees, clean energy has been a big topic of discussion between Biden and Ramaphosa. And this is the classic, because, everyone's an environmentalist. What are you laughing at now?
Keep going, sorry.
What are you laughing at?
I was laughing at the cummy smell.
Oh, that still got you.
Sorry. Keep
No,
going.
I touched it. The tree's not sticky. It's just smelly.
Okay. No, it's fine. I just got the giggles.
The giggles are a fantastic thing to have. You must hold on to them when you get them, because you always try and get away from them. But then always, you love those, that feeling. But back to clean energy, because, you're just going to start laughing again.
No, sorry. Carry on. I'm just getting a bit hot.
Okay, pull it together there. Pull it together. But... like how we don't edit the podcast, we're gonna have to edit. No, we won't. We'll keep it in. It's good. Hopefully you were chuckling away at home too. Laughter is contagious.
Yes. Sorry, I'm just going to not look at you.
Okay.
You can talk about clean energy.
The clean energy debate is, I think, laughable because everyone is like an environmentalist, or we're going to save the planet, and then you don't have electricity for 2 days and burn the fucking coal, burn the diesel. So that's interesting that they want us to have it in South Africa. But they discussed a number of issues. The country's energy crisis, investments, and the war between Ukraine and Russia. Because Cyril somewhat infamously has not really said anything or spoken against it. He's actually, if anything, stated that, Russia have been provoked into this by NATO, which is definitely more pro-Russia than pro-US. So, But now that they're giving us money,
so they'll give
it'll
us,
change.
So they'll give us money for this, though, because I was going to say, how much is this transition going to cost us?
Well, so following the meeting, Biden announced $45 million, which is like 1 billion rand, whatever. It is actually not too far away from that. I think it's like 800 million rand, something like that. And that's part of a multinational venture into accelerating and phasing out coal-fired power, which we thought Eskom were doing a very good job at. already just by not doing anything. Just failing. But there was an interesting point because sometimes I feel we don't get enough academic sources. But Dr. Dale McKinley,
he's going to say Zweli Mkhize.
No, he's an economist and political analyst. He said the latest funding is all too late because, and I quote him, the northern developed countries have a historical and moral duty to not only fund the vast majority of this, but to push it, given their history in ensuring that countries in the global south, or basically the engine rooms for fossil fuels, basically fuel the growth of their own economy. It is welcomed, but it should be much, much more and much, much faster. Preach, Dr. McKinley.
Wow.
True. Like, you know, I don't think you have to call it reparations. You can just literally do this shit and people understand that it's reparations. But it always comes with a add-on. Now we're going to be like, America. Yeah. I don't know. That was my Rocky Balboa. America. That's not a good Rocky Balboa. America. I got to work on that one in the toilet.
What?
That might be the impersonation. That might be the worst Rocky Balboa I've ever done. America. No, can't get it.
What's the mouth going that side?
He's got a problem with his face. But it's so true, you know, like where...
Yeah, I think that's also why like a big concern is like just energy transitions. So it's not disadvantaging people who, you know, who like let's say with Africa, we can't transition in a way that's going to cost us an insane amount of money, and our energy sector is already messed up. So
no, I know
you can't be like, hey, you guys need to be more environmentally conscious. We're like, we're trying, but we're also trying to be conscious of like not having to shut down the country. So I saw a headline was
very bleak.
I thought it was very vague. It was Biden and Ramaphosa meet to discuss mutual interests.
Do you like Pokemon?
Yeah, it's like...
I love Pokemon. More food.
It's like more political interests. Like what
Biden every 2 seconds. Who are you? And that's because Big Daddy's not a big political player. He's the head of the African Union. It's because Biden has Alzheimer's. And we wish him all the best as he fights that terrible disease. It really is.
It really is. I've got one more thing to chat about in local news.
Let's hear it.
And that is potentially changing liquor regulations and liquor laws.
For what?
Liquor laws, liquor licenses for South Africa.
What are the changes?
So I think this is following, I'm trying to remember what it was called. Do you remember that where 21 teenagers recently died?
It was in tavern tragedy,
in Ubeni Tavern,
Yeah, that was really sad.
And one of them, one of the...
And the police have done nothing.
I know. Was 13. So I think there's a massive issue with, I mean, I don't think they know for sure if it was because of alcohol, but they were still all underage drinking.
They don't know what the problem is because they haven't done proper tests.
They have, apparently the autopsies weren't even done properly. It's crazy.
The SAPs can actually, Becky, you can fuck off. I've never seen like such a real, like just gangster be in charge of the police. Well, no, there've been a couple, but anyway, sorry. Yeah.
So I think it's to address this. So they're thinking of upping the legal drinking age to 19, which I don't... Does any other country have a drinking age that's 19?
What a dumb idea.
Like, let's just add on 1 year.
I thought you were going to say 21. I'd be like, yeah, makes more sense.
You know, sure. No, 19.
19.
Bizarre. Like, to me, it makes no sense.
Who's in charge? It's like, you know, when you see a shit ad on TV and you're like... There were a lot of people who saw that, who were involved in making it. How is that what they arrived with? It's the same with this. Like, how did they were like 19?
Can you imagine? Can you imagine the ad? It'd be not for sale to persons under the age of 19. You'd be like, what?
That is so weird. And I don't think it would help anything because, you know, at 18 and 21, there's quite a big disparity in lifestyle, what you look like. But also, it's be weird to change it now, especially if you've been 18.
I mean, I don't care.
Wow, Chloe.
No, I'm joking. No. And then another thing is, I think it's actually quite similar to COVID, where they'll have hours where you can buy alcohol in and sort of days where you can't and whatever.
That's more
like
international,
that sort of,
I think. They're like you can only buy, it's... I don't know the actual hours, but the hours are set up strategically they'll probably be like, you just can't buy alcohol between 1 and 2 in the morning. Like it already is.
No, I think it'll probably be like up until like 8 or maybe 10. I don't know. Which does...
We just don't have the answers on this one.
Which is just, you know, like what if you go out clubbing? Does that count?
Different licenses, because then you surely have to be a certain age to be there. And that's, you know, no one's really that concerned because they're all on drugs. But hey boy.
Conversation you guys aren't ready to have.
Hey-o. It was also petrol's cheaper. That's one of the leading stories, or the feel-good stories. But because now diesel's gone up. The cost of living still stays quite high because of food prices, you know, economics, and what have you. But not for all. A man filled up and he got 120,000 Rand petrol tab that he paid for. This is a rich motherfucker because that thing cleared. If I tapped, they'd be like, nope, no money. And they'd be like, no money. So what was it for? Like 1,200 Rand, and it charges you 120,000 Rand. Jeez,
yeah,
that's terrifying.
Yeah, it literally charged that much. Yeah, imagine having that money just available.
But what it was because they charge for 5,000 liters instead of 50. Yeah. Jeez.
That's a bad day, especially because they did end up reversing it. But imagine if, like, I don't know, Caltex was like, no.
Yeah, I like how the first thing he went to was Facebook. He wasn't like, I need to go back. He was like, I need to go to Facebook first to tell everyone of this tragedy.
I think he probably had called them. But can you imagine calling like a massive company like Engen or Caltex, like, hey, my card was charged for the wrong thing. People are going to be like, okay.
But I think all I could be extremely wrong. If you hear that tingling or that, it's my belly ring. Just got it in. Yes, Queen, it is real sore. I don't have a belly, can you imagine? I think they're all franchised. So like someone would own that BP or the engine. It was in Muizenberg. I don't know if people in Muizenberg had that much money. That's just a joke. Speaking of ways to make money, South Africa is looking at trialing the 4-day work week. And that's exciting. I know the majority of you put in already like a 2-day work week, but stood in the office for a while.
Fridays don't count in Cape Town.
No, not in Cape Town. Like rush hour traffic, 12:30. What? How is this possible?
It gets earlier and earlier. Week by week.
But it's interesting because there is a bit of science and modeling and planning to this. So the 4-day work week is based on the 100-80-100 model, which prescribes 100% of the pay for 80% of the time in exchange for the commitment to delivering 100% of the output. So it's basically doing exactly the same amount of work in a short amount of time.
Okay.
Which, I mean, yeah. When you start throwing numbers at people, when I read this article, I was so confused. 180, 100. But it's basically... You
explained that pretty well.
Same work done in less time.
But I can't even imagine, like, you hear these stories of, and I mean, maybe some of you guys listening, like you work a desk job or you like an investment bank or whatever, and like you literally work 15 hours a day.
Oh yeah, no, but those people are compensated. They are. They really are. Those, are we talking about those in like the sort of finance industry?
Yeah.
The consultants who work like 16-hour work days. Yeah. They deeply paid individuals work hard, but they do get compensated.
Yeah,
they get gang cash and alcohol to deal with the demons. But I think it's brilliant. Of course, in a country like South Africa, it's very different because there are lots of different types of work in different sectors and what would it mean. Yeah. But I think like for someone like me, if I could just work 4 days and work 4 days properly, I'd still do the same amount. Mm-hmm. Internet and procrastination, my word. They love to pump. I just think people who work a 5-day week would happily take Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
So you've got a 3-day weekend, full weekend, so you can travel, you can live a better life. And actually, instead of getting into the office and grumbling and being so unhappy, being like, okay, I'm here and I'll do my work. There's a lot of, pencil sharpening, water cooler.
Long weekends throw South Africa off. Like, I've experienced it at university. Like, everyone's like, oh my goodness, I'm getting this in late. Like, it's the long weekend. Like,
Well,
it
what
just
if you just
messes
put it on?
everyone up.
What if you had a midweek break then? So you work
Doesn't France do that?
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday off,
Yes.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday off.
Maybe.
Jeez, that sounds good. It sounds good, Chloe. But what we've chatted a lot about local news. What global stuff do we have for the KETS loyalists?
I mean, there's not much.
Okay.
But one thing...
The Queen died, and that's just everywhere.
You're dominating.
Why does Piers Morgan love the Queen so much? Do you know?
I really don't like Piers Morgan.
No.
Mm-mm.
Common L.
Yeah. But another old guy, another old person, rather, the founder of Patagonia, he calls himself a reluctant billionaire. Wish I was one of those. But he's decided to give away his company to fight climate change, which Patagonia, if you guys don't know, it's an outdoor clothing brand. They're very much sort of like conservation. It's like 1% for climate change. They donate
Only 1% of the population can afford Patagonia BT dubs.
For reals. But
Okay, sorry, I got to put a reluctant billionaire.
yeah, it was first like a reluctant
I prefer
business
Mark
owner
Zuckerberg to this guy. Zucky at least knows who he is, and he can fucking do mixed MMA. Have you seen Zuckerberg fighting?
He's probably like a little lizard.
No, he's like a praying mantis. A female praying mantis killing the husband. He's fantastic. I try to tell everyone about this video. Mark
Like a
Zuckerberg
robot.
is a killer. He's stealing your data, and if you've got any complaints, don't take it up with him, because he'll fucking kill you. Gone is this nerdy image in my mind of Zucky. He's Mr. Steal Your Girl and get you in a rear naked choke. But yeah, so who is this guy? This Patagonia owner?
So his
Ex-owner. Ooh, I suppose he's a reluctant ex-owner.
Yvon Chouinard.
Yvon Shaka.
I think that's how you say it. He's like 80 years old now, and he started Patagonia. He was a mountaineer rock climber, started this outdoor brand, obviously became very successful. And he's found himself, I think his net worth is like, $1 billion, just over $1 billion. The company's worth a little bit over 3, and he's sold it.
Sure. Okay.
And the proceeds are going towards climate change. And any money that the company makes that doesn't go back into the business is getting donated.
What's
to
climate change's bank account?
I don't know, like organizations. Like they've obviously...
They're taking his money. They're getting
Samuel,
this
you
old guy.
so cynical.
They're laughing at him there. They say, thank you, oldie, Mr. Reluctant. We're not reluctant taking your money. Ooh.
No, I think it's very
No, I
think we always say like it would be great if it's like Bill Gates. He's also done like really good work and that sort of. He gives away a lot of his
crimes,
money. Yeah. He gives away a lot of his money.
No,
so.
Yvon Chouinard. Yvon Chouinard. That is very cool. No, obviously.
Yeah.
Just joking. Imagine he was I'm also just joking. I'm not a reluctant billionaire. I'm keeping it all.
Yeah.
But we also wanted to do a few more confessions from South Africans, because South Africans love confessions. So
we were going through our old episodes. We were like, that was really funny when we did that.
So we got a couple here. Is having a lot of butt hair a turn off? Not so much a question, not so much a confession, more a question.
Not asking for me, asking for a friend.
Yeah.
No.
Depends how much time you're spending around the butt.
Yeah, I think no.
No.
You do you, King.
Depends if it's smelly.
Sure. But I mean, just a smelly butt in general.
Yeah.
It's probably a turn off, hair or no hair.
What's the F1? You said there was a funny F1 one.
F1.
F1.
Someone was writing about... Okay. I hate Charles Leclerc. My girlfriend is so obsessed with him and won't stop mentioning him. She keeps digging up my looks, like, if your hair is like this, maybe you'll look like Charles, and other degrading comments.
Degrading.
She's infatuated with him, and I hear the name on a daily basis. I get celebrity crushes, but this is driving me fucking nuts. From Pretoria.
Yeah, no.
Shame, my guy.
Shame. They're going to be having sex one evening. She's like, sure, Johan. Sorry, baby cakes. But yeah. This one is so funny because I've seen this fear in people. I don't have it myself. I'm a fan of this game. But my biggest fear is chilling with a group of people I don't know that well yet, and one of them suggests playing 30 seconds. I'm not that great at the game, so I know I'll look dumb. That scenario will probably never happen, but it's a genuine fear of mine I've had for years. Of course, this person is from Cape Town. I think it's a decent fear.
I genuinely have that fear.
I've tried to force lots of people into playing 30 seconds. I am the fear maker.
I'm just not good at it.
But this is the misconception. No one ever goes, that person's stupid. You would have known beforehand if they're stupid or not. This is the last one for me. And please tell me I'm not the only one whose boyfriend vapes during sex. Not like the whole time, but takes a draw every 5 minutes or so. That's a long time to be having sex. It's always got to be on the bed with us so he can reach for it and take a pull. Taking the pull-out game to a new level.
Gross.
That is fucking disgusting.
That's real gross.
Did you not show me a video of someone like who vaped in their room and they clean it off with a razor and it's like slime?
No, that's real gross. I feel like that's just like romanticized, like having a cigarette. Isn't that cigarettes after sex is a ban?
Yes.
Even. So imagine vaping.
But
vaping during sex.
But cigarettes have always been sexy. You can't tell me otherwise. Vaping, not so much. The aesthetic of smoking. Chloe, we come from different times.
Sure.
Before we head out of here.
When Tommy does it, it's
Who's
sexy.
Tommy?
Tommy from Peaky Blinders. Tommy Shelby.
Yeah, you see, I've
Tommy
got a problem with... Some people have Charles Leclerc problems. I've got Tommy Shelby. Chloe, 3 overrated, underrated. Let's go rapid fire round. Then we've got to get out of here because it's literally load shedding in 2 minutes.
Okay. Overrated or underrated, Lana Del Rey.
Lana Del Rey. Underrated. I love her. She always looks different every year though. Not a hateful comment. I'm just curious. I got that summertime.
Okay.
Yeah.
Overrated or underrated chest hair?
Chest hair. Currently overrated. But because people hate it. But I think that means in about 3 months it's going to be underrated. You're going to see me on Clifton Forth with a full chest of hair and be jealous because I just don't care.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of another one. Overrated or underrated? I literally can't think of one.
Load shedding. Load shedding is perfectly rated. It's why this podcast has to end now. Thank you so much for joining us, Chloe. You beast. Lots of fun today. I hope you enjoyed this. We had a lovely time making this. We always enjoy our time with you. We'll see you next time.
On a flippity flip. Bye.